Hey guys, this is Brent Patterson with Patterson Outdoors, here to bring you episode 6. Um, I'm very excited about this one, being I was a part of it. But today I'm bringing you a story of Snoop, uh, which is a deer I've been after for a couple of years now, and so blessed to have a chance to get him, and just so thankful. But a lot, I get a lot, where'd you come up with this name of Snoop? And I guess 2016, summer 2016, we were scouting like normal, and we had a small bachelor group. Snoop was probably the smallest one of this group, 2.5-year-old, and his rack laid way back on his head. So, me growing up in the 90s, the first thing I thought of when I thought laid back was Snoop Dogg, so that's sort of how the name came along, and it just stuck, and from then on he was Snoop Dogg, or we went with Snoop. But yeah, that year I was able to see him quite a few times, probably I'd say at least 6. And to tell you the truth, at that particular time in 2016, he would have been my 3rd biggest deer probably ever. So I don't have a long history of killing big bucks. But yeah, he was still exciting when I saw him at first. I really a couple times had my scope on him, and I just couldn't pull the trigger. And after seeing him the first time, I started videoing him. I just didn't even think about shooting him. And I'm just hoping, he'd make it. It was actually my first time in 2016. It's the first time I ever had a buck where I said, let's try this, let him go, let him grow thing. And you never know how that's going to turn out. It could be, you may never see him again, or, it may turn out good for you. In this case, it worked out. But yeah, I probably saw him, like I said, six times. Got some decent footage of him. And but it was his body was so small, you could tell he was young. And so luckily January comes, and this deer he made it, and I was thankful for that. And so I was already thinking about 17 at that point. And so summer 17 comes, and we start getting footage pretty early of him, some camera photos, and got a little bit of video in the summer in velvet. And I don't know, probably around bow time in 17, this deer just goes off the map. We don't see him for a while. And so, of course I'm getting down, and really the whole rest of the year I go back to hunting where I was in 16. I never see this deer. And we had another piece of property, a little ways away. We were getting camera shots of him there, but all of them were at night. And hunted there a few times, never saw him either. So I mean, he just seemed like he went nocturnal, and we weren't getting him a whole lot. I didn't know exactly where he was going. So probably about December, we catch him again, and he's broke his tine on his left side. And at that point, I'm thinking, he's off any of the list as far as killing this year. And so we were at that time I was just thinking, Lord, let him make it to 18. And just so happened, January comes around and he makes it again. And we actually get footage of him to probably March. He's actually more regular after the season goes out. So, we're really pumped come summer 18. Because this deer, I mean, he probably wasn't our biggest deer we had, but he was one of them in 17, which, still won't saying a lot, but I was really wanting to see him. And so 18 comes, and summertime hits, and I mean this year he's looking good. And we didn't even score, and we didn't know what he scored, but we just knew. I knew at least he was number one. He was number one on my hit list. So, not that I thought particularly I may get him, but just I knew I was going to try to hunt him the best I could. And Trevor was very helpful with that too. So anyway, season comes again. Bow season hits, and of course this deer goes missing. And at the time, again, we didn't know where he went when he got missing. So I went to one of my other stands and hunted another deer that was further down on the hit list, but I was just trying to do something. And probably around November we see him again, 1st of November. So of course I stop everything I'm doing, and we put 2 cameras up now trying to pattern him somehow. And for a week we don't get anything. Probably the first week in November I'm thinking, do we need to move the cameras? I mean, what do I got to do? And at the end of about 7 days we finally see him on both cameras. And I'm thinking, well, maybe we put him in the right spots, So I think it was the 9th of November. I got home early that Friday, and I went to this particular spot, and didn't see him. But as it got dark, it was rainy too. So as it got dark, I heard a deer like snort wheeze a couple of different times. I mean, it was loud, and I was thinking it's probably the only deer there that would do that. That would be that dominant. So it was too late at that point, so I just snuck out and was happy to go the 10th. And so I get there on the 10th, and of course I don't see anything. So so then he goes, we don't see him again for like a week. And but Friday I get home again on the 16th. I get home early enough, and I sneak down there again because it was sort of late that day. But I get down there and I see a couple small bucks, moving a doe. So I'm feeling pretty good, even though I don't see him that afternoon. I'm feeling pretty good that maybe Saturday will be the day. So sure enough, Saturday morning I get up extra early, and I get in the stand about 5 o'clock, knowing I'm going to have a long wait, but I didn't want to spook them, close to time. So I get there about 5, and I just sit still and, just wait for light, praying maybe today will be the day. And so I didn't have to wait long. I mean, it felt like a while, but probably 6-10 minutes after daylight, I looked to my right, and I was sort of surprised. The body didn't stand out to me. I looked right, and I'm thinking, nothing, nothing to see here. And so I take my binoculars, and this deer is only 50 yards. I take my binoculars and look, and from the side I can tell it's him, even though he's not that impressive from the side. And you gotta imagine now, I'm thinking this whole time it's a cornfield, about the stalks are still this high, and I'm thinking the whole time I'm gonna have a 250 yard shot, through all this mess, in order to get this deer, because he's been so hard to even see. It's been 2 years since I've seen him. I looked to my right, and he's 50 yards, and I cannot believe it. By the time I get my gun up, and I'm sorry y'all, I mean the light was so bad, there's no way I could have got footage of this, and I just didn't have the time. But I wish you could have seen this, because I mean, I've never said I was the best hunter, but I hate to even tell you this story. But by the time I get my gun out the window, he's walking away. And I'm sitting there thinking, it's not the best shot, but this may be my only shot. This may be the only time I see him. So I got a slight side angle on him, and I put it where I'm thinking I can hit him behind the ribs and shoot. And it won't good. When I shoot, he jumps up and spins, and now he's running straight back at me. And here I am trying to bolt another round in, while trying to not let him see where I'm at. And so he's coming at me, and I'm feeling hopeless, like I don't know what he's gonna do. So he comes by me, and now he's out my front window. Broadside, he stops at 75 yards. And I'm thinking, did this just happen? So I put up on him from the front and click. And I'm thinking, no way. I never shucked that first shell all the way out. I pulled it back and pushed it back in. And so here I go, click, and I'm thinking, it's over with. And I can't explain it. I mean, God bless me is all I can say, because he's still standing there, and I dig this bullet out, trying not to let it hit the ground. Rammed the other one in and picked back up, and this time, I make a good shot, and I can see him stumbling, and I didn't really see him go down, but I felt like he did. And you just don't know the relief I felt at that time, and I was in awe, really, because I didn't feel like I did it at all. I felt like I was just riding the bus, and God just handed him to me, really. And so I'm texting Trevor and just cannot believe it. And I don't know, I still to this day when I think about it, I'm like, that should have never happened. And it's just, it just goes to show you, the power of God. And, I feel like he goes with me on a lot of hunts. And he was definitely with me that day. And, I just hope this encourages, some hunters out there that, like me, they're not the best hunters in the world. But, you just got to keep at it. You got to keep going, and one day you may see him, and one day God may hand him to you, and hopefully it works out. And I'm so thankful it did for me, and I'm so glad to bring you this video. And I want to encourage you too, if you haven't accepted Jesus into your life, that you would take this time and do that, and spend some of that quality time when you're out hunting, when you're seeing nothing. Just spend time. You got apps on your phone now. You got plenty of ways to get to the Word, and it's definitely made a difference in my life, and hopefully it will in yours too. But that's it for today, and I thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Well, guys, that's going to be a wrap for episode 6 today. I want to thank you all for tuning in and watching. Just a special episode for me today as well. Having my dad come on here and share his story with Snoop. I've kind of been along for the ride the past few years and watching this story play out in real time, and I knew how much this deer meant to my dad. And I was just trying to do anything I could to help him out, and hopefully get a shot at this deer. I was really pulling for him, hoping he could finally get a shot. And to finally get that text the morning of November 17th, I was super pumped up and happy for him. And after 3 years, I was ready to see this deer too. And my dad, he was just on cloud 9. But just an awesome deer. It's my dad's biggest buck he's ever killed. So just an awesome story, a crazy ending, and just another little twist of that is we actually found a hole in this deer's ear, so my dad actually didn't miss this deer on his first shot. Just another little twist to the ending of this story. But like I said, it's just an awesome deer, and to have this history with him is great. And just super proud of my dad and that he was finally able to get Snoop on the ground. But that's going to be it for episode 6. I want to thank y'all for watching. And we got some more stuff coming down the line, some different stuff that's coming soon. So I hope y'all stay tuned for that. Just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and hope y'all have a good time and spend some time with family and friends. And don't forget what this time is really about and why we celebrate it in the first place. So thank y'all for watching, and stay tuned.